Welcome to the Tuesday Tea, everybody. My name's Maddie.
Hi, I'm Carly.
Welcome back. Best day of the week.
Woohoo!
When this comes out, we're almost going to be in summertime. Can you believe that?
No, I feel like I didn't even see spring. I feel like spring has come and spring has gone.
I know.
It has been really rainy here though the last little bit, but
Yeah.
when the sun's shining, it's like it feels so good. It's like 70. It's perfect.
I know. You know what I'm so ready for?
Let me guess.
Take a gander.
Boat days.
No.
Okay, yeah, I didn't feel confident in that one. Hold on.
You got
What am I
it.
excited for?
It has something to do with
tan.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you.
Have you been fake tanning lately?
Well, tomorrow I'm doing my last fake tan of the season, and that is a glorious moment. I think through the winter, it's like you're on a self-tan grind, at least I am, because, I film myself in videos all the time. If I didn't do that, I don't think I would like self-tan as consistently. But because I'm always on camera and I feel like clothes just look better and they sell better when you're tan,
Yeah.
I have to keep it up. And it's so annoying because I love to work out and run, and I'm a sweaty gal. We've talked about that. And the tan just sweats off. Like yesterday at my workout, it was so humid in the gym and so hot. And I looked down and my tan is literally just melting off before my eyes.
See it?
Oh, yeah. I have like brown sweat.
But if you self-tan for a week without working out, maybe they should make it so it's like, okay, if you work out a bunch, it only lasts like 5 days or something.
Yeah.
Like, it shouldn't just come off just from perspiration.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited to have a natural tan. I know that natural tanning is frowned upon, especially the way I do it, because I don't tan. Like, if I have SPF on, I will not change colors.
What if you do SPF with tanning oil?
Yeah, I was
You ever
actually
tried
thinking about that. I should try that. I haven't.
It's so interesting, though, if we start down the rabbit hole of, like, all the oil and chemicals we put on our body in order to gain a tan but also protect ourselves. Like, it's just frightening.
Yeah, and it's like our skin's going to be damaged from the sun anyways. I would rather enjoy my life. I mean, like, I could die when I'm 35.
While I'm tan.
Yeah. And if I'm tan, I'll be happier. So
Yeah.
I don't really care.
I also feel like when you tan, it doesn't look unnatural. And I think I've seen one person in particular that does spray tans.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
Like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
But your self-tan just always looks very natural and, like, not that significant. It just looks like normal skin.
I feel like I just do fake tan so much that that's just like the standard for me, to where when I don't have tan on, it's like, whoa, what is happening?
I don't think I've ever seen you pasty before.
I'm so pasty right now.
No, you're not.
No, well, that's why I literally intentionally wore a long sleeve shirt that's high neck so you can't see anything.
You have a good skin tone when it's not tan. Yeah, you're just a normal girl.
I'm just a girl.
We're coming off of such wonderful episodes with our 2 most recent guests, and I can't wait for many more this summer. It's going to be so fun. We need to sign up for pickleball league, and we need to sign up for cornhole league. Those are the 2 things we got to do this summer.
That would be pretty iconic.
Can you imagine a beanbag toss league? Or cornhole, they call it here.
What do you call it?
Wisconsin calls it beanbag toss.
Why?
I don't know.
Why not cornhole?
It's like bubbler. We call bubbler. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
What's a bubbler?
Can you guess?
A jacuzzi?
No. A bubbler is a drinking fountain, a water fountain at schools or like in the airports and stuff.
A bubbler.
Everyone in my hometown, I don't know about everyone in Wisconsin, but most cities in Wisconsin call them bubblers.
Why?
Just, it's what it's called.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
It's like calling a grocery cart a buggy. People in Europe do that.
Do they?
Yeah. I finished the Too Late book by Colleen Hoover.
Oh, tell us about it.
It was awful.
Okay.
I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads, and I almost gave it 2.
Oh my gosh. I gave that one book, Freedom McFadden, The Crash, 1 star. Like literally, because I didn't like it. So to give 3 stars if you don't like it is so nice of you. Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
It was bad still?
Yeah. I mean, just so dumb.
Yeah, so it was Too Late. It was awful.
Okay, tell us about it.
It was just so predictable, and everything was so unrealistic. I was just like...
Remind me if it was a new release?
I think it's an older book.
Okay.
Yeah. but I'm not sure exactly when it came out, but it's not new by any means. But I think it came out after Verity, and she was trying to do like another kind of thriller, but it was also a romantic book. Like there was a love story in it, but it was just so stupid. Everything was so dumb. I hated it. I hated every part of it, and I was waiting for like the twist. And there really wasn't a twist. I just wouldn't recommend. I should have given it 2 stars, but I felt bad.
Yeah, that's so nice of you. That's so generous.
Well, it's her livelihood.
Colleen Hoover's?
Yeah.
Oh, she's fine. Trust me. She's fine. After that shenanigan, she's doing just fine.
Wait, tell us about that update that you heard about Blake Lively.
Oh, I just read a big update. Oh gosh, words are going to be really hard and I'm going to butcher it, but work with me.
Okay.
So, some court documents and more information is coming out about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. And I swear to God, if they don't televise this thing, I'm going to get pissed.
We need to see the trial.
Like, you guys, we've gone through so much for this case. The least you can do for us is film it.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Ugh. Anyways, enough about that. I saw that basically what started this whole conundrum actually goes farther back than we thought. So some court documents were released of basically this fake lawsuit that Blake Reynolds LLC or something like that, because nobody knows her by Blake Reynolds, but it was Blake Reynolds LLC, which they did intentionally, sued the random defendants. It was just literally generically defendants, and it was like they listed no names, nothing like that. It was just like a fake lawsuit. So it all started with this PR firm. So It Ends With Us hired a PR firm, and there was this one girl over it. I forgot her name. One of their names is Jessica, so this isn't helpful. But
Wait, It Ends With Us hired them?
This PR firm was just like running everything for It Ends With Us. There was one girl at the top of it, so we'll call her Mary, and then there was a girl below it. Let's call her Lauren. Lauren was like, I'm quitting this firm. I've been here for too long. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm going to go off on my own. And so Justin Baldoni was like, well, I actually want to come with you. I don't know necessarily if it was the movie Come With You or me personally as a actor come with you as a PR firm. I don't know which, but I want to come with you because you're the only one I trust at this company and you're the only one I want to be with. And so she put in 6 weeks notice to Mary, and Mary said, no, absolutely not. Like, you can't leave, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I'm leaving. I'm giving you 6 weeks notice. So the day she was leaving, her last day, Mary called Lauren into the office and said, give me your phone right now. There's a subpoena, and we are required to take and gather everyone's phone that was involved in It Ends With Us. And this was, I think, right around filming wrapping. And so, like, none of this drama was happening yet. Like, nothing at all, because the drama didn't really start till after the movie was released.
Yeah. Mary tried to take her phone because she was suspicious that she was going to take one of their clients, aka Justin Baldoni.
Yes,
which you're not allowed to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that depends on like the legalities of the PR firm. Like, some people are like, if you take a client, that's up to you. Like, I know for my dad, he's an accountant. If he worked at a firm, he couldn't take accounts with him to be their personal accountant.
Yeah.
So it just depends. But in this case, I think it was legally fine because the plan was for Justin to go with her. So she took her phone, and I guess Lauren starts crying and is like, I don't want to give you my phone. And Mary's like, sorry, you have to legally give me your phone because of the subpoena we're facing. Allegedly, Mary then goes to Blake and Ryan and says, I got her phone, but then lawyers get involved, and they were like, you weren't legally allowed to take her phone because no subpoena existed.
She lied about this.
So she lied about the subpoena. So they had to make up this subpoena and file a random lawsuit against nobody so that they could have a legal subpoena to have this girl's phone. So I think that recently came out. This document came out showing Blake Reynolds versus defendant, which is nobody, so that they have justification to take phones, which is just so unbelievable. And that's like literally what's, I guess, started this whole kerfuffle. And nobody knew about that until recently. So honestly, pure frustration with humanity. Like, that world, I'm so scared, is so dark, and so much goes on that's so not okay. It'd be one thing, I think, if, and this goes for anything, I know It Ends With Us is so complicated and complex, but it'd be one thing if something were to happen and legal action needs to be taken and it just gets ugly. That's one thing. It's another thing for things to be manipulated and inappropriate not in the sexual sense, but in like just like so uncalled for and unneeded and not going about it the proper way. That is so frustrating for me.
I'm assuming that it wasn't legal for, what was the younger girl's name?
Lauren. I made that up.
I'm assuming that the girl that we're calling Lauren wasn't allowed to take Justin Baldoni, because why else would Mary be trying to get her phone? Like, I feel like she was probably trying to prove that they had plans afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I think also, I'm sure Mary was aware that Blake was going to file lawsuits against Justin Baldoni. So maybe they wanted leverage from Lauren's phone about Justin.
Yeah.
Which is illegal to acquire that on your own.
So are they going to get in trouble for this?
I think so.
Because I remember that was a part of like their case against Justin, was like their PR firm dropped Justin.
Yeah.
And like they were trying to manipulate that as something that made him look bad, when in reality he was leaving them first anyways.
Yeah. Which is so crazy to me, because that means anybody with power or money has the opportunity to change narratives. Everyone should be held accountable, whether it's Justin or Blake or Ryan, no matter what, or the PR firm, if they did something wrong.
I just feel like at this point they all did something wrong.
Yeah, but
everyone's at fault for something.
I agree, but there's a line, right, of like leaving a PR firm isn't illegal. Justin maybe like, I don't know.
Yeah, the ethics, Blake and Ryan's ethics are more questionable by a minute. And Colleen's. Have you heard about her whole thing?
I mean, I'm sure she's involved.
Yeah.
But I think she's on Blake and Ryan's team, right? Isn't she?
Well, there was this whole thing that came out, and I'm going to butcher this too because I saw it a while ago, but it was basically like in the fine print, Justin owned the rights to the movie, but like when Colleen signed over those rights, in the fine print, it was like if the person who owns it is ever accused of like sexual harassment or sexual assault or anything like that, then Colleen has the right to like have the rights back. So that was a whole thing of why Blake accused him of those things, because they don't want him to have the rights to the movie.
It's just so much bigger than like false accusations at this point.
Oh, it's crazy. I hope that, I mean, it's my humble opinion that Blake needs to be taken down and needs to be held accountable. Ryan. Yeah, and Ryan. I'm not saying that Justin's a saint and he didn't do anything wrong, but I think like legally Blake and Ryan are in the wrong here.
I think you are in the popular opinion, because I saw yesterday Blake and Ryan went to a red carpet. The comments are out of this world. Every red carpet they've slowly been making appearances at and like coming back into the limelight are brutal. And it is everyone against them.
They just need to go away. Like they just need to take a break
now. Everyone sees through you.
Yeah, just go on vacation. Stop trying to like get your image back.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like they're trying to have this like PR comeback moment and just like convince themselves that everyone loves them still.
Yeah, like
and it's like just let it go.
Now again, they're human. Like we want to love on them and forgive them, and like, but we don't want to support and encourage such awful behavior either. But like, we believe in you. You can come back and have a place, but be a proper human being and don't tear people down and take people down. When try to ruin their life.
When is this case happening? Do you know?
No.
Okay.
I'm biting at the freaking bit though. I also think if we were to know all the details, we would never be able to wrap our minds around it.
No.
Like there's probably so much corruption and so many more people involved than we know.
Yeah.
Brutal, dude. I'll never be able to rewatch that movie ever. I watched it one time in theaters before I knew anything going on. I knew nothing about anything. I don't think people did at that time.
No.
And then explosion.
So, long story short, I should have given Too Late by Colleen Hoover 2 stars. I shouldn't have given her a generous 3.
If you would never recommend the book to somebody, you give it 1 star. If you did not enjoy it and I would not recommend it, that's a 1 star, Maddie.
Well, no, that 1 star is saying like this was awful.
Yes.
But some people might like it.
Well,
but if I didn't like it, I would say 2.
You didn't like it, but okay, so what's a 2-star rating? 1 star is I didn't like it, I hated it.
1 star is like it just sucked altogether. 2-star is like, okay, I could see how that might be a book some people would like. I just didn't like it.
Would you recommend it at 2 stars to people?
No, I would do what I'm doing now. Say I don't like it.
Okay. And 3 stars is like, meh, it was fine.
Yeah.
Okay. 4 stars, amazing or great. I'd recommend.
Yeah. Ideally, I won't have to deal with this situation a lot because I hate reading books that I don't like.
Yeah.
Like, nothing is a bigger waste of time
Yeah.
than a book that just does nothing for you.
Yeah, lately I've really only been letting myself read books that have more than 4 stars on Goodreads. Dude, you got to bring that star reading down so you don't lead people astray.
Yeah.
You got to bring that 4.4 down.
I know, you're right.
Were there any other like iconic books that you haven't liked before?
Yeah.
Hot takes.
We've talked about it.
Don't say ACOTAR, whatever you do.
No, it was like Summer People or 5-star.
5-Star Summer.
Is that what it was?
5-Star Weekend
5-Star Weekend.
by Ellen.
That's one where all the
Rokerbald.
friends go to the house together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated
After
that book.
the death.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so
Wait,
you
no, not that one.
Okay.
That one was okay.
All right.
No, the one that it was by Abby Jimenez.
Jimenez, yeah.
Yeah.
Which one? She's schmoogling it.
Got a schmoogle.
I like that author. She reminds me of Emily Henry.
Yeah, it might have been Emily Henry.
Book lovers, don't talk poorly about books. Oh, you didn't like not Beach Read. You didn't like The Happy Place.
Yeah, that's the one.
Place.
Happy Place. I
Yeah.
hated that book.
I haven't read that yet.
Yeah, that one's stupid. Don't read it.
So, anyways, books, and then we got to get into TV shows. We have a whole list. We have The Outsiders. We have Severance, which we are so behind on the game. We have Shrinking, and we have one more, and I forgot what it is, and I wrote it down.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
Okay, I have Have you heard?
Oh, wow. Let's go.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Have you heard about the woman who can remember everything? Have you heard about her?
Bill, why don't you? No, what do you mean? Like me? Joke, I don't remember anything. Is she just a random woman, or is it like a new capability that they put inside women?
What? Her name is Jill Price, and she has HSAM, which is highly superior autobiographical memories. Only 60 people in the whole world have ever had this condition.
Is she monetizing it?
She should be.
Like, honestly.
So she's 59 now, and this happened right after she turned 14. Literally one day, she just started to remember everything. You can name a date 30 years ago, 40 years ago, ask her what she had for breakfast, ask her what song was playing while she was making breakfast, ask her what historical events happened that day.
What?
She can remember every single thing.
Okay, so doesn't that make you technically the smartest person in the whole world? Because you literally remember everything you read or input into your brain?
Yeah.
Maybe that doesn't mean necessarily they're like an engineer by any means, but like...
I think it just depends what she does with it. But basically, it's a condition where everything goes into your long-term memory. So you know how like we're doing things like just eating breakfast, cooking, whatever, and that goes into our short-term memory and we forget? Every single thing goes into her long-term memory.
What would you do with that? Well,
yeah, I don't know.
Would you like read a whole bunch of stuff about like math?
So she did an interview on 60 Minutes a while ago, and in the interview she said that like this condition obviously seems really unique and cool to a lot of people, but it's actually a burden to her because she's like, you know, time heals wounds with breakups, with losses, an embarrassing moment, you know, anything in your life that you want to forget, she can't forget. And so she honestly doesn't really like having this condition because it's just, she can't escape thoughts or memories that you want to escape, which is really weird to think about.
Yeah, fascinating.
Like, imagine if you like had the most embarrassing moment and then that feeling never faded because you can always remember right back to when you were in that moment.
But is it the feelings that stay or just the memory? Because I feel like I remember embarrassing moments, but like as time goes on, the feelings of it fade, but you'll always remember it.
Yeah, but I think it's probably because the memory of it fades as well. Even though you remember what happened, it's like you aren't like great detail. She can literally go back and feel like
That's crazy.
I know.
I wonder if it's like feels very crowded in her brain and just like, because how can she process and like walk through life? Like, does her brain work differently, I guess, when it comes to like day-to-day life is my question.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. I'm sure her head is full.
Like it's gonna explode.
Yeah.
Does she have anxiety? Did she talk about that at all?
I don't know. I didn't watch the interview in full.
Okay.
I just saw clips of it, but we should go back and watch it.
Yeah. Honestly, Maddie and I talk constantly about how we can expand our brain. Obviously, we can't get this, but like, how can we get smarter? How can we remember things? How can we talk better? Because we're always having little strokes here and there, and it's just brutal.
Yeah.
Would you have this if you could have it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think there's blessing in being able to forget loss. I mean, you can train your brain to like learn more, but she doesn't have an option to turn it off.
Yeah.
You know, like if we really wanted to get smarter, we can work hard at that
Yeah.
and do that, but she doesn't have that option. But I would want her on my trivia team.
For sure.
We need her in the FBI.
I would love her next to me sometimes too, of like, hey, what was that person's name again?
Oh my gosh, she would never forget someone's name.
Yeah, because even just like important things that happen to them and you want to follow up about them and then you see them in person, you kind of like forget everything or forget what their dog's name was and they're really excited to tell you about their dog. It's like,
yeah, but then also like if she's your friend and you do something that hurt her, she's never gonna be able to forget it.
but there's like a level of maturity too.
Well,
of
yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean, she could choose to forgive things, but it's like,
just the memories are always there
yeah.
and apparent. Yeah.
Imagine being married to her or dating her.
She could be like, and this is 13 examples of why.
On
Everything
June
you
6th,
did.
1994, you said this to me and
Exactly.
you didn't mean it.
Honestly, that was the worst part about me in relationships is anytime my ex would be like, well, what did I say? And I was like, I don't remember, but I know you did.
Yeah, I know you said it, but I can't tell you when, where, how.
Yeah, but I know, promise me, trust me.
But she could.
She could.
Jill could.
Yeah, sweet Jill.
Are you ready to get into these submissions?
Yes, I have such good ones.
Okay, so we asked you guys to send in the craziest thing that has ever happened to you, like something that changed the trajectory of your life, something that you'll just never forget, that was so crazy you can't even believe it's real. So we're really excited to go through them with you. I feel like we've talked about the craziest things in our life multiple times, so we don't have to go through our own, right? Unless you have one.
Nah, nothing compared to these guys.
Yeah.
These babies are fresh. Okay, my first one. My best friend and I worked at the same Starbucks. One day, a regular customer came in and ordered his normal grande hot white mocha with extra whip. My friend was at the register and I was heating up food, so we were right next to each other. She asked him how his day was going, and he said it's a good day to be alive, like he always does. And 30 seconds later, he collapsed to the floor.
Oh my gosh.
Thankfully, one of our customers was a firefighter, so he started CPR right away. All of the baristas and my boss was crying, understandably, and my boss didn't close the store. So while we're waiting for the ambulance, people are trying to walk around the scene to get their mobile order.
You're kidding.
It was upsetting, so my friend and I jumped into go mode, shooed people away, and I waited by the door to let the paramedics in. Thankfully, the customer was revived, and when he got to the hospital, we found out he had a heart attack and his heart had stopped. He came in next week and ordered the same drink, but we made it less fattening without him knowing. Because I saw how I reacted in a stressful medical situation, one good thing that came out of this was I was convinced that I should be a nurse. So I went back to school and now I'm starting my nursing program in August.
Oh my gosh.
I
what a cool
know.
story.
I know, that's so traumatizing, but honestly, like, what a crazy way to realize, like, where your passions are and your natural skills.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost the opposite with a lot of people. They want to be a nurse or in the medical field, and then they experience something like that, and they're like, actually, never mind. So I think it's really cool that you were able to see that you thrive in those kinds of situations. And I'm also so thankful that he's okay.
I know.
Your boss is wild and crazy. Keep the store open while there's a man getting CPR on the floor. Like, be so freaking for real. The lattes can wait.
No, seriously. Read the room.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I know.
Okay, my first one. This is a long one, but worth reading. So I was in a situationship with this guy who lived in another country. I had visited that country and met him through a dating app. We chatted for almost a year and it was going really well. He was going to come back to the States for a bit, so we had plans to meet up. The whole time we were figuring out plans, I had a weird feeling that he actually didn't have a ticket to come see me because I would ask him to send me flight info and he wouldn't, or he would make an excuse that he was busy and would send it later. He did tell me a date, but never a time. A few days before he was leaving to go head to the States, he was messaging me about how he couldn't wait to see me. I took 2 days off work and drove 4 hours to pick him up at the airport. The day came for me to get him, and mind you, I still hadn't seen an itinerary, but I trusted him. I was still in contact with him, but he wasn't responding to my messages. All of a sudden, he tells me that the flight has been delayed and he won't make the connecting flight, and a string of lies followed. Long story short, he didn't end up coming and made all that up. I went home completely heartbroken and cried all the way home. A few months later, we started chatting again. I learned to never take a guy back after this, and he apologized for everything and continued to make up lies. I then asked him if he ever had a ticket, and he swore he did, but I never was sent anything even after asking him.
Oh my gosh.
We talked for a few more months, and then he convinced me to buy a ticket to the country he was living in to come see him. Of course, me being stupid at the time, I said yes and bought a ticket. A few days before I was going to leave, he gave me this long story about how he couldn't see me anymore and can't pick me up from the airport. He said he had something unexpected come up. He told me how bad he felt and reimbursed me for the Airbnb we were supposed to stay at and for over half my airline ticket. I still went on the trip and barely heard from him the whole time and never saw him again. After the trip, I never heard from him again, and it's been about a year since that happened. It is something that has changed the whole trajectory of my life and how I perceive relationships. I realized how someone should not be treated and made me realize what I value and want in a relationship. Even though it was a painful and heartbreaking experience to go through, I'm so glad I went through it and came out stronger in the end. I have grown to love myself and become a more confident person, and I also got a free trip to Europe.
Wow. Yeah, that's so awful and annoying. It's ridiculous.
He's like probably catfishing you, I feel like.
That's insane. I mean, who knows the excuses and like reasons for those people and like why they do things like that. But I'm glad that you gained such a wonderful perspective from it.
Yeah, I'm glad you still went on the trip
Yeah.
because if you're going to Europe, it's like that's a big deal. You have to take off work and everything. And also, I feel like traveling alone, even though it's sad that you have to go alone, can also be such a growing experience.
For sure. I've only heard good things about traveling alone, but yeah, truly good for you for going because I feel like more people would probably cancel
Yeah.
and not go. Ugh, people stink. I'm sorry. I'm excited for you and like knowing what you deserve and
Yeah.
clarity. And okay, this one's really cool. All right, in 2005, I had just dropped out of college and was moving home to my parents' place. My tail was firmly between my legs. I had almost no money and no job prospects. Basically, I was screwed. I had an old Jeep with all my belongings in the back and 200 miles to go. I borrowed $20 from a friend for gas and started the trip. I got to a point that was 30 miles from home and was on empty. I pulled into a gas station and sort of cried for a minute in my truck. I needed $5 for gas to make it the rest of the way and had nothing. There was no way I could call my dad and ask for help. He was already so disappointed in me. After a minute, I started searching around my truck for change for anything. I opened the glove box and there were these paper loyalty bucks for a gas station that I had never used. It turns out it was the exact gas station that I had stopped at. $4.70 worth of bucks. I found another 30 cents and put the gas in the tank. I made it home. Fast forward 20 years, I had sorted my crap out and I'm a lawyer that the gas station hired me as their outside counsel.
Oh my God.
And I get to tell the story now of the president of that company.
Wow.
How cool is that?
That just gave me chills.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's just like full circle times 10.
Yeah. You
So
don't get
cool.
more full circle than that.
No. And I hope you are able to drive by that gas station and just see it and have just like this soft spot and warm spot in your heart for that.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Loyalty bucks also? Good night.
It makes you think, like, I always wonder when people are at the gas station asking for money. I'm like, do you really need money for gas? Or are you just scamming me?
I know.
You never know.
Do people typically ask you? Like, do you see people asking for money for gas?
Not all the time, but
Okay.
sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really cool story. Kind of
Yeah.
encourages you to give people, $1.
Yeah. Okay, this next one is a little scary.
Okay.
It's not necessarily a positive one, but our listener wrote in on Instagram and I saw it and I was like, oh, that's actually a crazy story. So
Okay.
she said, I'm a real estate agent in South Jersey and my business is heavily rooted in social media. So it wasn't a shock when someone reached out to me on Facebook wanting me to sell their house. When I made the initial call, the conversation felt a little off. Not a major red flag, but just enough for me to decide to bring my mentor along to the listing appointment. On that call, he made a few weird comments. He told me I was tiny and asked what it's like being a female in real estate and how it must feel scary going into strangers' homes. Honestly, I'm used to odd questions here and there since I share a lot of my life online, so I brush it off. At the consultation with my mentor present, he was completely normal. We moved forward with listing the house and even scheduled an open house. Here's where things get wild. The day of the open house, he asked if he could stay during the showing because it would make him feel more comfortable. I'm an open book and aim to be flexible with my clients, so I said yes. Everything was fine until the end. While we were just chatting as I packed up my things, I was facing the kitchen window and behind me was a dining area with a laundry closet. I turned around and he was completely naked.
Oh.
I ran fast. But wouldn't you know, that same day we got an offer on the house. Shoot. Because it was my first client coming out of referral status and the deal was already in motion, I decided to see it through. He later apologized, saying it was his house, he was just changing, and he didn't think anything of it. Gaslighting 101. Sir.
What?
Be so for real.
Oh my gosh.
We made it to the closing table and he thanked me for everything. I thought I'd never hear from him again. 2 months later, I get a text and it's a full-blown nude. I told him clearly, I'm not interested. I'm married. I have 3 kids. This is not okay. He didn't stop. Every few weeks, I'd get texts off different numbers, different apps. One time at 5 a.m. while I was at the gym, I got a message that said, "What are you listening to?" Super creepy.
Oh my gosh.
But again, I chalked it up to him watching my life through social media, even though he is blocked. Then it escalated. He booked a fake buyer's consultation through my website using a different name. I always send Zoom links for safety, and when I texted to confirm, I realized the number was one of the same ones he texted me from before. He was trying to meet me again, this time pretending to be someone else. When I finally told him I was reporting everything to the police, again, he tried something new. He faked his own death. I got a text from, I feel like we're in like a Jerry Springer episode.
Yeah, what's going on?
I got a text from a brother, air quotes, saying he had passed away and they wanted me to know that that's why he had booked the buyer's consultation. I ignored it. Then on Easter Sunday, the man came back to life like Jesus Christ himself. He called me 4 times at 3 a.m. and then sent this message. I would be forever grateful if you would just talk to me. You're a big portion of my life and I just want to talk to you.
Oh my gosh.
I've had my husband contact him. I've filed multiple police reports, but the police keep telling me unless he physically harms me or shows up somewhere he's not supposed to be, there's nothing they can do. To this day, every couple weeks, he haunts me. A new number, a new attempt, a new boundary crossed. This has been the wildest, most terrifying experience I've ever had in real estate, and it's changed the way that I view my job and how I want to go farther in my career. And it all started from one Facebook message.
Wow, I'm so sorry. That is so traumatizing.
Could you imagine?
I mean, like, and there's no way to solve this.
No.
It seems. I'm so sorry. That is a heavy, heavy feeling.
Can you not get a restraining order based on someone harassing you from social media?
I feel like you can. Yeah, I guess that was what I was thinking originally. Instead of filing police reports, filing a restraining order. But
just because in case he ever does physically try to approach you, if you have a restraining order, then he'd be committing a crime.
Every state, I think, is different, though, for like how you file them. So maybe the state she's in has different requirements. Or like things have to happen before you can file a restraining order. Or maybe she doesn't have enough money. Oh my gosh. I would change your number. And I don't know. I mean, that's your livelihood. I know realtors that are present on social media do such a great job. So, but I would change your number.
Yeah, change your number for sure.
Yeah.
That's so scary. I'm glad that you're married and you have your husband to help like comfort you and make you feel safe when you're at home. But no, that is really scary. I'm so sorry that that happened to you. Please keep us updated.
And also, like, who knows? Obviously, this story doesn't have a happy ending yet, but just a good reminder for women just to stay vigilant and aware. Like, spreading these kinds of stories and messages is helpful for Just awareness.
People are so weird. I saw
People
this
suck.
story on TikTok of this girl who's a jewelry owner. Like, she owns her own small business as a jewelry store. And some guy, like, bought jewelry from her and then started messaging her about how she's, like, a scammer and stuff like that. And he started harassing her with, like, calling her and all this stuff over and over, messaging her on Instagram. And she blocked him and blocked his number when he would call. And then he started calling from different numbers and had personal information, like, about her kids and where she lived. And then he showed up at her house. And she found out, like, through all this research, so she's like, who is this guy? Like, why is he contacting me? So she found out a bunch of information about him. He lived in Florida and she lived in San Diego. And he showed up at her house. He flew to California from Florida to show up at her house, and she was, like, down the street at the grocery store and saw him on her ring trying to, like, get into her house.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, she had all the footage and all this stuff, and kind of same thing. The police came, but he was already gone, so they couldn't do anything. And she ended up, like, finding where he was staying and manipulating him to, like, because she had gotten a restraining order, but you have to deliver it in person in California. So she had, like, her friends, they had to find out where he was, and they were able to serve him the restraining order. But, like, it's just this whole thing, and it's like she posts stuff on social media too. So that's how he found her, and he just became obsessed with her.
Oh,
Like, just so creepy.
it's so creepy.
I'm so thankful I've never had to deal with that.
I hope that never happens.
Yeah,
Ever.
it's so
That's just
scary.
not okay.
Because you can find anything about anybody on the internet these
Yeah,
days.
you sure can. That's just brutal. Man, stay aware, you guys. Men and women. That's awful. This one's sweet from our listeners. Junior year of high school, I was dating this guy who told me 2 weeks before prom that he wasn't ready for a relationship and didn't want to keep leading me on.
Classic.
He had a girlfriend 2 weeks later that he took to prom.
Classic.
I was so bummed, not really even about him, but I just really wanted to go to prom. And my dad wouldn't let me go by myself because all my friends had dates and he felt bad letting me go alone. So my best friend and him told me to text this guy a week before prom to see if he wanted to go, quite literally sight unseen. Because I was so desperate, I did. His text back was, "What color dress are you wearing? I'll make sure my bow tie matches."
Aw, that's cute.
We met for ice cream with our friends who set us up 2 days before prom, and we didn't even talk to each other.
Don't tell me they're married.
No.
Oh.
I just said to myself, stick it out. He's your ticket to prom. Well, prom came, and it was quite literally one of the best nights of my life. We danced all night together, talked the entire bus ride home, and then spent every single day together that summer. Fast forward 9 years later, we're going on 3 years of marriage, and he's the best, he's the best gift God has ever given me. And also, 9 months before I met him, my mom died, and his parents were going through a horrible divorce. And we really needed each other so badly, and we didn't even know it. If it wouldn't have been for a blind prom date junior year of high school and a guy dumping me for another girl, I never would have met him. God works in the craziest ways, but truly I'm so thankful and can't believe he's my husband.
Oh my gosh, that is the cutest story I've ever heard in my life. A blind prom date?
Well, and it's funny because they went to ice cream the week before or 2 days before, and they didn't talk. They didn't talk.
That's so funny.
Not a lick.
Aww.
I know.
I love love.
It's so sweet.
Stories like that just really get you know?
It's like the knife and then a small twist, but it's also like a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
Like, we're
thing.
happy for them.
And we're not resentful. We're just like, the fact that that's real is beautiful.
Oh, I love that.
Pure
one.
joy.
Wow.
Yep.
My favorite one. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
My next one. Back in 2016, I was pregnant with my first child, and we found out it was a boy. 3 sonograms, 2 baby showers with our nautical theme, name picked out, all clothes bought, washed, nursery all set up, and we were so prepared. Then the baby came out a girl.
Oh.
She was breathtaking, though. We were very fortunate to have a huge village take care of everything for us and even completely redecorate the nursery before we got home. And she is the girliest girl you'd ever meet. Love, my Lillian. That's so fun.
Surprise. Lillian, welcome home. Your room is blue.
Could you imagine how jarring that would be?
Yeah.
Like, knowing the gender, being so sure, feeling like you know this baby inside you. You're like, little Chad or whatever you want to name him.
Chad.
Michael, little Billy. Like, just so happy. And then it comes out a girl.
Yeah. Like, just as much love and joy, but just for the planning purposes and everything you put in for a boy.
Yeah, it's just shocking.
Well, and you've known him as a boy for 9 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is shocking. 3 sonograms is bonkers. They need to be fired. Come on, guys. It's a wee or not. What were you looking at? Like, maybe there was just like a finger perfectly placed each sonogram. That was just like her go-to when they were getting ultrasounds.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy.
Funny. Okay, my next one. I'm a firefighter and we got a call for an overdose around 3 a.m. to a rough part of our district in the middle of winter. Unfortunately, the patient was long gone and her dealer found her like that when he dropped some stuff off. As we were packing up our stuff, mind you, this is an absolutely trashed mobile home, I hear something down the hall that said lights. I asked my partner if he said anything, as it was just him and I cleaning up, and he said no. I walked to the far end of the trailer where I heard it, and I shine my flashlight, and I get a reflection out of the window. They have a small tool shed, and it had a light flickering. It piqued my interest, so my partner and I go out there. We hear crying and notice the door is padlocked. We cut it, and this little 6-year-old girl was in there.
Oh my gosh.
She said her mom puts her in there when she gets mad at her. She said she got scared when she heard the sirens and didn't know what to do. To this day, I have no idea what happened or where that voice came from. My partner and I took her to the children's hospital closest to us, and we wrote our report and ate chips and a sandwich we took from the lounge while they called over a social worker. We aren't sure what the voice was, but I believe it was God, because it was not a sweet little girl's voice.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm sure that experience also probably changed his faith in some way or another.
Yeah.
Like, just the profound trust of a voice leading you to save another person's life and get her in the right hands.
I hope he told her that story, because I feel like how beautiful of a feeling would that be to realize, okay, my mom obviously struggled with addiction and things like that and wasn't caring for me. But even when she wasn't caring for me and she was neglecting me, like, God didn't forget about me, and like he didn't
literally
want her to be left alone.
Like an audible direction to where she currently was in that moment. The firefighters never would have gone in there.
Ugh.
I hope they told the social worker too, so the social worker could tell the parents that ended up adopting her.
Yeah. Oh, that's so special. I hope she's doing okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This one I just thought was kind of funny. I dated a guy for almost 4 years, and then he told me he never actually loved me, didn't think I was pretty, and never would. Then proceeded many times to try to get back to me or at least be friends. I was an absolute mess. Years later, I'm married and have a baby, and I'm so thankful and happy. I look back and laugh. Like, wow, okay, literally jaw dropped when I was told this, and there were so many red flags I ignored in the relationship. Funny thing, too, is he used to be obsessed with your ex when you were engaged, Maddie.
Wait, what?
Her ex was obsessed with my ex.
The one, which ex? He was obsessed.
The one I was engaged to.
Like a boy crush?
Yeah. He had a boy crush on my ex that I was engaged to.
What in the world?
Yeah. And then she said, so glad we've moved on for better and know our worth.
Holy woof. Wow.
I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, what a loser.
What a small world.
Yes, that too.
How full circle we've come.
Gosh, that's a trip, man.
I know.
Also, yeah, know your worth. That's crazy. I'm glad that you deserve better and found better, because that's no way to be treated, man or woman.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my last one, and it's very short, but great.
I'm ready.
All right. I showed up to work 10 minutes late due to cramps that made me so sick. When I got there, they made me train the new guy on how to clean the coffee machine. We've now been married for 8 years.
You're kidding.
I need to show up late to things. Well, I already do. I need to show up later.
Hasn't worked out for me yet.
Exactly.
How to train the new guy to use the coffee machine.
I know. It's like, ugh, gotta show him how to clean the coffee machine. Fine.
Fine. And then you fall in love.
Sure enough.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Happy for you.
I like these because there's so many different like trajectories your life can take, and these little or big things affect you. And I think that happens for everything that happens in life. Like everything is slowly changing your path, and that like takes you back to Midnight Library. Just the concept of that book is so fascinating to me. But every little thing affects your life and where you end up. So trippy.
Yeah.
And cool.
And like we kind of talked about it on our 30th episode, but it's like, does your perspective on these things that happen turn you into who you are?
And like how you think about them shape your reality.
Yeah.
And like it's okay to have frustrations or be angry or like be at the stoplight when you're running late and honking the horn. Like that's so natural. But then like shifting your perspective because you just met somebody or you saved this person, or the burnt toast theory of like, okay, well, if you where 5 minutes earlier you would have gotten into a car accident. Like, everything is perspective.
Yeah.
But it's also okay to be human.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Be sure to follow us on Instagram. That's where we do all these submissions and things like that. And give us a 5-star review if you feel so generous.
Yep.
Not 2 stars, not 1 star, as Carly likes to do.
Yes. No.
No.
Reserve 5 stars only for the best.
Yes. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.